This is Secretary of State Hillary Clinton making the case that the Tahrir protesters essentially fell down on the job because they refused to engage in electoral politics. Check it out.
The people who started the revolution in Tahrir Square decided they wouldn't really get involved in politics. And I remember being there, and this kind of goes back to your very first question, going to Cairo, shortly after the success of the revolution, meeting with a large group of these mostly young people. And when I said, so are you going to form a political party? Are you going to be working on behalf of political change? They said, oh, no, we're revolutionaries. We don't do politics. And I sat there and I thought, that's how revolutions get totally derailed, taken over, undermined, and they now are expressing all kinds of disappointment at the choices they had and the results.
Mona, does that ring true to you?
Well, Chris, first, before I even answer that, I have to impress upon your viewers that we are all very well aware in Egypt that 5 U.S. administrations supported our dictator, Hosni Mubarak, understanding fully that he was a dictator who was preventing us from organizing to form exactly those kind of political parties that Secretary Clinton says we have lacked. So please, let's remember this. Secondly, yes, of course, there was an idea that politics was tainted, because it was tainted because we looked at the choices available. It was always a regime who told those 5 U.S. presidents who supported him, it's either me or the crazy men in beards, and then it was the crazy men in beards saying it's either us or the regime. And so we were stuck between these two people, and we said, this is not the kind of politics we want. We want to end dictatorship of all kind, whether it's fascists with guns or fascists with God. We want freedom and dignity. The chants of the revolution were bread, liberty, and social justice, and social dignity. We saw the candidates that were available, and none of them were fully representing those ideals. Now, we've been under military rule for 60 years. It was very difficult to organize politically. Now we start to organize politically. In 18 months, yes, we didn't have time to organize politically. Anyone would be foolish to claim otherwise. There are revolutionaries who still do not want anything to do with politics. I understand that, fine. Please go to the side and organize socially and culturally. But many of them now are saying we need to be involved in local councils. We need to be involved in very grassroots networks that then begin to grow up with revolutionary Egypt. And again, I stress the Constitution is the most important ally in this regard, because through the framework of the Constitution, whoever is our president, and whatever the role of the military junta, we need a Constitution that guarantees we can get rid of that president in 4 or 5 years. We need a Constitution that guarantees they cannot get rid of our parliament that we have elected.
And the Constitution, of course, has yet to be written. And this is one of the questions in the wake of the revolution, was the order in which things like parliament, constitution, president would happen. And what ended up happening was there were parliamentary elections and the parliament was dissolved by the SCAF. There is no constitution, and now we have this presidential election, and we're going to have a president in which there is no properly constituted parliament and there is no constitution. The live shot you see there is the hall in which the announcement of the next president of Egypt will take place imminently. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Places? Really?